Howdy, Possum Patty and Little Miss Titi here, and today is going to be a very special Trash Tuesday, so come on along. But first, I need to go under the table to get my trash. Yes, I consolidated almost all of my trash together in one place right there under the table so I can take it out and use it anytime I want to trash. And I do put trash in all of my journals. But my kitty is being very huggy today, and she wants to stay very close. So I gotta go under the table. And here is a little box of trash. Now this was the box that I had collaged over. And I also have another tub of trash. Gotta move my kitty right here. And in here I have some big trash, and I'm going to pick up every little scrap of paper where the cat gets it. Some little tiny trash and some bigger trash. Alright, so I think I'm ready, so let's go over to the other camera. First of all, Trash Tuesday can be any day of the week, but I like the alliteration. So I take out my buckets of trash. Now when I say trash, I'm talking about anything that maybe you would have thrown away. So it could be packaging from the kitchen. I had some guacamole, and this was around the tub of guacamole, and it's so beautiful and colorful. I didn't throw it away. I saved it. So this is what I'm talking about. Also junk mail, any bits and scraps. It could be labels from clothes. It could be envelopes that you get in the mail. It could be old magazines. It could be newspapers, it could be bits and scraps, maybe from when you're doing a journaling project. It doesn't matter. You're just taking things that may have gotten thrown out otherwise and giving them new life in a journal. Now here are a few of my trashy junk journals. This one is made from a tissue box, and this was a Christmas junk journal last year. I believe I can do some more work in this one this year. And I'm using like maybe some old Christmas cards, of wrapping paper, anything fun, scraps left over around the holiday. This is one that's been around quite a while, and this is made from a gift bag. And I've done lots of play in this one, so I'm sure you've seen this one many times. And as you can see, I die cut trash, I cut trash, I make pockets and belly bands out of trash, and I'm just putting these things together in a way that pleases my eye, just having fun with images. We've got the label from a can of peaches. This is from a pancake mix. The belly band is made from butter. We've got pancake mix there. This is from something that was gluten-free. Enjoy life. This is from a calendar, an old calendar. It's the envelopes that come in the mail. So you've seen all this. I weave trash. I die cut trash. I also paint on trash. Back here, I do gel plate printing on trash or stenciling on trash. And it's just fun, relaxing, and very inexpensive. If you don't want to invest a lot into like journaling supplies, but you want to play around with the idea of journaling or art journaling or mixed media, just save some colorful things that you may have thrown out again and start putting them together in ways that please your sensibilities. See this mashed potato box right here. This was from an old book. This was from a calendar. This pocket is made from a paper bag. There's, we got an envelope here. Candy. Way too many pieces of cookie boxes, ice cream cone boxes, and candy wrappers in my trashies. Way too many, way too many. Anyway, so you've seen this one, unless you're a new possum peep. So that's why I'm sort of going over this, because I do have a few new possum peeps, and I want to talk to them about my trashies. And this is my medium-sized trashie that I'm working on, that Mr. Possum loves his Drake's Cakes. And I made a medium-sized journal. And this one I did something that I hadn't tried before, but I sewed the signatures, which are all like envelopes and papers. Oh, I also use things that people give me too, like gifted items that come in Happy Mail. I love to put those in. McDonald's coffee. Mr. Possum likes his McDonald's coffee. He must have got something with the coffee this day. Or it might have been just his creamers and his sugar. Anyway, I put this in my sewing machine, and I started sewing in the signatures with my sewing machine, and it worked pretty well. First two, third, it was getting a little rough. The fourth signature, it stopped going, so I had to sew it the rest in by hand, but that's okay. It's a trashie. So I'm working in this one. You might remember this page. I did this recently, and I did some doodling on there. You can make pretty pages. You can make grungy pages. Anything you want. This is deli paper from Popeye's Chicken. If you're going to use food wrapping, try to get the cleanest bits, and you may want to wipe it off a little bit before you put it in your journal. And keep it away. Keep it in a place where the insects won't get at it. I've never had a problem. Somebody asked me, but I've never had a problem with any critters getting into my trashies. And I do put little bits of trash in all of my journals. So I'm going to play in this journal today, and today's page is in honor of Linda D., who was the queen of all trashies. Now, all of my junk journaling where I'm using trash was all inspired by Linda D. Her old channel, which is not available anymore, was Mixed Up Mess, Linda's Mixed Up Mess. And after I watched that, I started trashing. Started trashing almost immediately, because her creativity and recycling things, and not just trash. My gosh, she worked on so many things. It's hard. Oh, there's my clock. It's the Oriole clock. She did a lamp. Like, she took an old lamp and repainted it and decorated it. And she did so many different things. A hubcap, she made something out of hubcaps. She was doing a bureau in her studio. Some of the work she was doing, let me tell you, was so good. And I told her this. I said, I've been to many art studios where people do the same kind of art, where they take articles and sort of refurbish them. And it's almost like doing a mixed media, but on a three-dimensional object. And hers were so, so well done. I said, yours are better than many things that I've seen in art galleries where people were selling them. I loved her channel. I loved all her videos. I loved her. And we will miss her. Well, I have a picture. I'm trying to do this hugging my cat, that I made a while ago. I think this shows her personality. And this is actually in my Nutty journal. But I took a picture of the picture that I put in my Nutty journal. And we're going to do a page for her. We're going to honor Linda D. from the old Mixed Up Mess, who I feel was the queen of trash. And I'll probably stick a few more things in here too. Okay, I'm going through first my box that I put on the table. And the first thing I pulled out was this envelope. And it looks like I don't know what I did here with a bunch of paint. But look, her picture fits right in there like that. I love windows. Maybe I can make a pocket out of this. Maybe I can sew it up to size and do a little bit of a pocket in here. I could leave it open on one side. Get a nice big page right here. Oh, and this is appropriate. This is a Popeyes box that you get your chicken in. And Linda D had some chickens. She called them the girls, and they were always getting into trouble crossing the street. Loved her videos. She loved to watch nature. She loved her flowers and her garden and her chickens. Okay, I'm looking through the box again because I'm thinking I could also make this a flip. So I'm going to look for something to cover this, and I'm going to cut this down a little bit and make this so I can pull that card in and out and yet flip this up. And then I'll have to cover that, and then I'll have to cover this. So I'm going to look for a couple pieces of trash. I could even collage a bunch of little pieces on here if I don't have anything large enough. So I'm trying to engineer something here. You know, I love my paper engineering. And this came off the front of like a pad of watercolor paper. And because she was so creative, I'm thinking, well, maybe I want to put these brushes in here. And I can fold it over instead of cutting it so that it makes a tuck on this side. Now this box is cut very wonky. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might trim the paper or something. But you see this little hole down here from the box? I drew a circle there, and I was thinking of putting a chicken there. I have these lovely chicken stickers from somebody, and this one is looking forward right there. And I think that one would be awesome to have it peeking through that little hole there. But I believe it's attached to the other chickens, but that's okay. You're gonna cut that off. Like that. Oh, I should probably erase some of that, right? That was just to mark where I need to put it. Oh, yes, 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 yes. See the chicken peeking through the hole there? Okay, so this is going to be the foundation for this side. Now, maybe I want to sew this on here, but before I sew it on there, do I want to cut this down and make the pocket and then sew this and then sew it to here and then put that on there? Okay, I'm going through my bigger bucket of trash, and I saw this beautiful picture, like fall colors, the mountains in the background and a church in the foreground. And I was like, she passed October 15th, which is fall, and I think this would be lovely. So I'm going to cut this down for the back of the envelope. I'm going to trim the envelope and turn it into a pocket that opens on this side. And then we'll go from there. I took this piece and I trimmed it down on both sides. Then I took it over to the sewing machine and sewed a new pocket into it. I took my round hole punch and tried to punch out a thumb hole here, but the paper got jammed in there, so it's a little wonky. It's possum perfect. We love it. We love it. And so the card now will go in this way, and you'll be able to see Linda through the window. And I folded it up here. I guess this will have to get glued. And then I did glue the beautiful October scene on the back, like that. Now this has to get sewn onto here, and then, or I could sew it this way. That way I'm not covering up the brushes. Ooh. Maybe I will do that. All right, I'll be right back. I put some glue on the other side of the picture of the brushes, and I'm going to fold this over. I just ran one line of stitches across the top there. So that'll fold up like that. Okay, this is the inside of the chicken box. So it might be a little waxy, so I'm hoping that this will stay down. I might have to hold it for a minute. Okay, I'm going to glue this side. I'm using this beacon glue. It says foam and poster board adhesive. It is almost like the Fabri-Tac. A little bit of a different formula, but they had it for cheap at the Dollar Tree, so I was trying it. It works pretty good. Some people claim that, man, they can glue anything down with it. I try and use it on, you know, working pieces like pockets and flaps and things like that. Jewels, things that might need a little extra hold. I got my chicken peeking through the window there. I know this is very wonky, but that we're okay with that. Okay, that looks like it's going to stay down pretty good. I might have to put something on the edge to hold that. Okay, now you don't have to do this much paper engineering in a trashy, no. You can just, it's as simple as picking something out of your pile of trash and placing it in the journal, putting it in there any way you want. That makes you happy. I just happen to love to do this. Let's see. What do we have here that I could put along the edge? I could use washi tape. Now, I know washi tape's not trash. Or I could use, oh, you know what I have? Get some painty papers down here. Now this was packing paper. That I turned into painty paper. So I'm going to use a piece of this like it was washi tape. But because it's recycled packing paper, it makes it more trashy. What I was thinking of was just to put a little here, but can I do that? Yeah, I guess I could. Why not, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, see, I can't, because that's going to flip up. Where does that flip up from? Okay, it doesn't flip up till you get to there. So I can put it there like that. Okay, I'm going to put a piece there, and some along the edge, and some along the bottom. While I'm waiting for my faux washi tape to dry, I think I put too much glue on it. I'm just cutting out some images because I think one thing that Linda did was put images together in such a creative way. I don't want to cover up the brushes, but I love the image of this girl with the succulents, actually, flowers in her hair, and this tree of life tattoo on her shoulder. And I want to give her some, like, butterfly wings or something. I got this little set of fairy wings out of this orange paint chip. And I think what I'm going to do is glue it down onto these flowers and then make a little border with the flowers. Like that. Oh, I'm getting glue on my hands. I remember one time Linda collaged, a huge collage of a city. Collage my city. Collage my world. Collage my world. Oh, it was so awesome. It was so intricate. All these buildings and people and just huge, huge. So intricate the way she glued every single building and everything into this huge collage. Was just amazing. But now I feel like I need to put something inside the plain orange piece, which is fine because I've got all these flowers here. That pretty zinnia. Let's see what we can do. Oh, that looks so pretty layered up. Okay, I'm going to glue it down and then trim it. Like so. Oh, maybe I can doodle on here. Okay, I put some glue on her. Now I'm going to put the wings here. I decided to put it on here first before I doodled. See how it looked. And then I found this shiny bit of green. I was almost thinking about making a crown, but she does have a wreath on her head. Okay, get my pen. And I'm just going to do a little mark making. Just a sketchy, wiggly line around the outside. Just to kind of emphasize. And then on this plain orange part, all right, this paint chip looks very waxy. That's going to take a while to dry. So we will let that sit for a minute, and I think I better clip these pages so it doesn't close. And I'm going to work on the card, which is here. And let's see, I got chicken paper. I got more of this. Well, that was a case of one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. So I'm stopping right now, and I'm going to show you what I've done. Moving some things out of the way here. So there's the little fairy. And what I did was add some of these white cone flowers around her. And I think the pen is dry. Yeah, I was just playing, waiting for everything to dry. So I love this. I don't know, I might still come back and add something up there at another time. Maybe a little dragonfly or something. And I added a chicken to the front. It reminds me of her girls. Now the card, I found this really nice painty paper. I didn't make this. This was gifted to me. It was on a book page, and so I glued it to the back. And I put October 15th, rest in peace, Linda D., Queen, and I used that little bit of green for a crown of the Trashies. Now, another thing about Linda is if you've gotten Happy Mail from me, you might recognize this little possum hanging from a branch with the heart in his hand. The first place I saw this little stamp was Yeppers at Linda. She had one of these. And I was like, oh my gosh, where did you find that? And she told me it was an old Stampin' Up stamp, 2002, about 20 years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I Googled it and I finally found one. I think I found this on eBay. And it needs to be cleaned off a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to have to clean that. It's getting pretty dark. And I was like, oh, Linda, I found one. So this little stamp reminds me of her because she's the one who had it. And I was like, where did you get that? Okay. So then one more thing on this side. Because it's October and it's a Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I decided to put a pink ribbon because she did lose her battle with cancer. So I think that really captures her personality and her Queen of the Trashies and her chickies. And I'm going to slide it in. Now, if I had been a little bit better of a trasher, I would have lined this envelope before I sewed it together so that there would be a lining in here. So when I pulled the card out, there would be something already there in the window. Now I might come back and play with that a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to slip something inside there or not. Or maybe I'll just leave it white. But it looks really pretty with the card in there. And I think it came together very, very nicely. Now, next time I come and do Trashy, I promise I will do some simpler things. But this was a special occasion, and it called for an extra special, thoughtful, meaningful page. So thanks for coming along today, and I want to wish everybody happy trashy journaling. Bye-bye.